I'm CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I live in the real world. I mean, everybody has to have a job, right? Well, mine just happens to be CS, customer service. You know, solutions, relationships, keeping your team pumped up and motivated to stay in touch with every single guest who has chosen to stop into your location. Episode number 85, Mother's Day weekend, another quitter, and taste testing. This is C.T.C.S.
Well, here we are. Day number 1 of 4. Brand new week in CS. No transition walk today. The reason being is I'm on a highway right now, a very, very crowded highway, headed to a movie promotion and a premiere. And that's going to put me on a time schedule where I got to get back into town and be at CS at a certain time. So, here we go. I've heard a lot of negative feelings from coworkers this week about different things that have unwrapped. So, my God, I got to go in there with a positive attitude. Remember, it's all about finding solutions. Well, it looks like I'm going to get my transition walk in after all. Except without Jazzy. Jazzy's at home. I was at the movie promotion, the premiere, and too many reps were there. And so the major company said, one of you got to go. Somebody's got to go. And so that's exactly what happened. I go, all right, I'll go do my interviews. I'll do what I need to do, and I'll go. So that bought me some time to take a transition walk. I'm on a greenway. Charlotte's got some of the most beautiful greenways, and so I got to clear my head, man, because, you know, I am a show prep whore. I am. I prep my day for everything to play out. So when things don't go as I planned, it screws up the head. One of the realities of this modern day world, employees, coworkers, we're all working 2 and 3 jobs. We're all coming to work tired, or we get tired in this position, and then we go to our next job. For instance, like I was at the movie promotion. It fell through, but I was still there. I still had to be up at 6 o'clock this morning. Fell through, but that's okay. And, you know, and then I come here where Carlos is stocking the shelves, and then he's going to go work at Chick-fil-A. He says his average day is anywhere between 13 to 17 hours. I mean, we're not the only ones. It's happening everywhere. And I think it'd be kind of neat to have a community of hard workers. Just sit down and have a conversation. The scent of melted chocolate is all over the produce department because Mother's Day weekend is this weekend, and so they're making the chocolate-covered strawberries right here inside the house. So, man, I'm like hanging out over there. We're talking about things that go together like chocolate and strawberries, chocolate and bananas. And I said, how about chocolate and asparagus? On a previous episode of C.T.C.S., we had actually somebody steal $277 worth of groceries from self-checkout. And the way they did it was they said, I'm going to go take the groceries out to the car. And while the guy was standing there using the credit cards, and he realizes his credit card was going to work, so he goes, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to get a new card. Security wouldn't help me at all. So what happened is that was fresh on my plate from the last episode, and then all of a sudden here it comes again today for $137, and there's just no way. There was no way I was going to fall for that again. But what would you do in a situation like that? Put yourself in a moment where somebody is panicking because they need to have their card and they need to go get it out in the car, but the groceries are already out there. Here's how it played out, and this is really one of my pet peeves, and I've got to get over this, is what I have to do, is that we had a lot of guests that saw what was happening, where the woman was frantically looking for her credit card, or made us believe that she was looking for the credit card, and somebody that was watching comes up and says, well, how much do they owe? And we told them what they owed. They went in and they paid it. Now, see, that to me is an open door for people to continuously do that. Freak out in public, go out and make it look like you're looking for your credit card, and then drive off because somebody's going to take care of you. I don't know. How do you feel about that, man? What would you do in a situation like that? This week's first official taste test is going to be from Private Collection. It's an all-beef hot dog made with beef brisket. I've heard a lot about this hot dog. Now, here's where my strangeness comes in. The way I eat hot dogs, not like other people. I like my hot dog raw. Yeah, I like me a raw hot dog. So we're going to test this baby raw and see if it does have good flavor to it. Oh my God. This is a winner. For a raw hot dog, this one's got, man, you can taste that beef brisket big time in this monster. Private Collection, all beef hot dogs. Very good. Anyone who has moved to this city, Charlotte, North Carolina, goes through it. This city is so guilty of switching street names in the middle of nowhere. And so when they go from a Runnymede to a Woodlawn, they don't realize the names have changed. This gentleman's only been in town for 3 days. He's literally, I looked at the map, he's literally only 4 minutes from his house. And he's inside the store just freaking out because he can't figure out how to get back onto Runnymede. How did it change? What went on here? And it's like, dude, I know, I feel you. That's who I was in 1985. I feel you. So, that should be part of our job here too in CS. Make sure that you know the city. Take some back roads over here so that if people are lost, know their streets. Transition walk, day number 2. Oh my God, I need this walk so desperately. One of those mornings where you wake up not feeling well because of the allergies that are caused by the conditions in Carolina. Oh, I had 5 interviews this morning. I mean, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And, it's one of those where I couldn't do my normal posting on iHeart and Spotify as well as Apple because the interviews just kept running into each other. And so it was to get there, took a lot of leadership in the podcast world. I had to prepare for today last week. See, that's why I like doing what I do in CS. You go there to communicate with people, and you've got to have a continuation. And the things that you want to put forward don't always go that way, but you got to rely on a team in order to make things happen for there to be success. Time for a transition walk. Why don't you join me, okay? What's going on, farmer?
Hey.
Man, I can't imagine you coming back to the registers.
Oh, no, absolutely not. All week I work front end. I work floral.
Yeah.
I don't work front end till
Well, you look like a total natural out here with these flowers.
I'm the only one who actually likes flowering. Watering them.
Yeah.
It gives me time to talk to them because, flowers like to be talked to. It
I don't know.
actually helps them. It's something that we release in our oxygen and our words that they like that brings them towards us.
Well, they like you.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I do think they do. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about quitting front end.
So Mother's Day weekend, which one sells first?
Oh my God.
I think the tomatoes are going to go.
Oh, there's only like 1 or 2 tomatoes left. Got a couple berries left. What will be going are all of our roses that are over there.
Yeah.
Got buckets and buckets full of roses.
All right.
Stay is right around the corner. I'm
going to leave you with your children.
Thank you. Leave me with all my children. A man actually came up to me and told me Happy Mother's Day?
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. I'll claim these as my children. I'll claim these as my children. But that's not it.
On the last episode of C.T.C.S., we talked about a new assistant manager in CS, and they're in the training program, and the past 3 haven't made it. They've gone so far, and then they decide at the last moment that this really isn't what they want to do. Well, the one that started last week on the last episode, I thought for sure, okay, benefit of the doubt. She's coming from a major corporation. This one's going to work. Didn't work. 1 week into it, she's gone. Would you say it takes a special breed to be successful in what we're doing?
I would say patience.
Patience? Because there's so much growth immediately?
Yes. What are you talking about?
In other words, it's like because people come and then they don't last that.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, she had retail experience. I think her expectations were never tempered. She claims that they didn't properly explain the schedule to her, which might be the case, but it's rare you're going to find a job that's in retail where you're going to get weekends off and like a 9 to 5. And I think that's what she wanted. But, I think there was a miscommunication, or she got into this job for a few weeks and didn't really like it.
Once just test the waters.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
Yeah.
But we see it all the time here, all the time. She's probably the 3rd or 4th in a row.
Yep.
That's gotten through so far, and then just they're done. And I don't get it because somebody that comes from restaurants and over 20 years, this is so easy compared to that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know a lot of people are going back into the workforce post-COVID.
Yeah.
But, I don't know what your expectations are. This is not a hard job.
It's 2 giant grocery carts full of food. They right in the middle of checking them out on number 3. What happened was that he went out and said he was going to get the car, and then she said that she was sick and she needed to leave. So now what we're doing is we're adding it up to find out how much money they almost stole from us here. So 739. No, 739.
720.62.
That's it. It's 720. We broke up that little ring that fast, but it would have been $720 for the groceries going out the door. Now it's the mission of putting away $720 worth of food. And so we've got 3 people on this because when you really break it up, it was 3 gigantic baskets full of food. The meat was the giveaway. The meat department came up right away and they were talking to us and said, "Look, something's not right here. You need to look at this. Look at this right now." So we had the meat that was up there at the customer service desk, and they had to physically come up and have a conversation with us to get it.
The gentleman comes in and he has a big gym bag. And you probably know, you know if you saw it. And he throws it in his cart. And he goes through, and he's stolen before. I've caught him before. Mm-hmm. And so Jeff, all 3 of the managers knew this guy. Mm-hmm. And they were ready to get rid of him. And so he's going to the store, and he's loaded his bag up, and he comes up to check out, and they call him out on it. They're like, "Hey, we know you got shit. You got to go. Put it down and leave." He just starts slinging it out of slinging it over
like a water sprinkler?
Just slinging it out of his cart over by self-checkout. And I see stuff out of the corner of my eye fly. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I look over and I see all the managers around him and he's throwing it out. And so he throws everything out of his cart and he proceeds to walk towards the exit. And then he looks at Joe and he gets in Joe's face. Mm-mm. And Joe goes, "Don't get in my face." And the guy's like, "Oh, you ain't gonna do shit," or whatever. And so the other managers are trying to get this guy out. And Joe goes, "I'm telling you, don't get in my face." Well, the guy took his hand and went over Joe's head with it, like rubbed the top of his head, and Joe lost his shit. And so he got ready to get physical with that guy, and Chris is like, "No, don't. You're gonna get fired." And so they got the guy out, and for 15 minutes, Joe was up here fuming.
Oh God!
Like Joe's like, if this had been back home, I'd have whooped his ass. Blah blah blah. Joe's below average height.
Oh yeah. He's definitely he's a very powerful man for his size.
Yeah.
Transition walk, day number 3 out of 4. It's been very stressful this week. And I'm told that because it's Mother's Day weekend, the thefts are going to rise because people cannot afford to get anything for their mothers. And here we are, this grocery store. We got beautiful balloons and cakes, and oh my God, look at those cupcakes, and Mom wants a steak. Oh, I got to give my parents something for such a beautiful day, Mother's Day. So our alert system is going to be up today. The awareness is going to be knocked and rocked and thrown about. But we've got to find solutions. That's what we do in CS. I was recently asked, why is it when I walk around the store when I first arrive, why do I go around and fist bump all the employees? And, there's really a story to that. And it's all based on my life in radio, is that we would just run into our studios, do our shows, and leave. And we never really saw anybody that we worked with. I mean, it's like people said, "Do you work with?" I said, "Well, every now and then I might see them." So I always make it a point that when I first arrive, go around and say hello. Only because in my days of radio, we really didn't say hello to each other. Have you ever had one of those moments where you feel like that a family member who has passed away is standing right there in front of you, and maybe they're using today's bodies to reach out to you? On Western Union today, Calvin comes in and he's picking up some money. I got to see his ID. He was born on February 6th, 1959. My brother was born on February 10th, 1959. So looking into his eyes, I really honestly felt like that I was staring into the soul of my brother. And it's like my... Geez, I think too deep sometimes, but wow, that was a touching moment. Some of the most expensive items in a grocery store are light bulbs. I'm going to set this scenario up and let you see how you would handle it. So this is one of those what would you do moments. A woman who we had been trailing for a long period of time has a store bag and it's got items in it. She walked out of the store, down the sidewalk, and then returned to the store. It's almost like on her day of stealing things, she forgot something. Light bulbs. She goes to the light bulbs, manager goes up, starts talking with her, she's done. That's it. Everything goes back in. So it's one of those things where people want to get things for their house, but we never think about stealing light bulbs. She tried to, and that's where she got caught. The greatest workout you will ever have, I guarantee it. Bigger than a tough man contest. Working self-checkout on Mother's Day Eve. Flowers, beer, steaks, everything going, and your heart rate is racing quicker than NASCAR and the Indy put together. And on this Mother's Day Eve, I'm about ready to taste sample the Lay's BLT sandwich, Lay's potato chip. It's really interesting how that outside packaging has got a classic BLT sandwich. And now I've got to think about that taste in a potato chip. Let me smell it first. Oh, Jesus, man. It almost smells spicy. Have you had these yet? All right, here it comes. The big crunch. No, I'm not feeling it. No, it just tastes like a regular potato chip. I'm not tasting the BLT-ness that it says that you're supposed to have. This one doesn't pass the test. Transition walk, day number 4. Mother's Day. It's going to be like Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be on Thanksgiving. In the final hour before we close at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thanksgiving. It's going to be balls to the wall. Let me tell you, yesterday it was kind of a day of doubt is what it was, because when we were 4 hours into my day, and we were still several $1,000s away from our goal. I was very disappointed in my heart because I thought we had done a lot more. But then that nighttime team, my God, we were hit with unbelievable amounts of people, travelers from out of town, from in town. Everybody was in motion last night. And we not only met our goal, but we exceeded our goal. It's crazy shit like that makes you say, I gotta get back in there. I gotta get back in there. We're achieving things. And there's no better feeling than that. Pretty much like any other holiday, one that falls on a Sunday, people are going to church here in the South, and then once the preacher man says, all right, get out, everybody hits the grocery store. Or they go out and they have lunch with mom, and after lunch, instead of taking mom home, mom's got an idea. What's for supper? Got to hit the grocery store. So we've just been hit with a pretty large crowd starting off the day today.
And that really just means, like,
A guy whistled at you?
yeah, and he was standing 12 inches from me.
Was he looking at your butt?
No, he was trying to get my attention, and that triggered me. Like, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Like, I was already helping him, and I go, I'm gonna go get a bag, and I hear him whistle or said something to you.
Yeah. He wanted me to take over.
Oh my God, I'll be all right. I have no patience. Like, that's so disrespectful.
Man, you missed the woman that came in and goes, do you guys deliver groceries to my house? I said, no, we don't do that, but I can give you the names of companies that will do that.
Well, they will, but not this store.
So I told them about Instacart and Shipt, and she gave me the dirtiest look, and she was just offended that we did not deliver personally. Is it expensive?
Yeah.
It can be.
And they can charge you by the weight too.
Yeah.
You got heavy stuff on there.
And how about these guys over here? This guy comes in with a warm Dr. Pepper
and says to me, I'm not sure where I got it at.
Yeah.
And he goes, I opened it and it was flat and it's hot as shit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's probably why it's flat. Go swap it out.
It came from your car.
Right. And then that's the same guy that came up to me one day and goes, can I tell you about your bathrooms? And they're single-use bathrooms. And I go, sure. And he goes, I wet myself waiting in line to use it. And I'm just like, all right. I mean, what the hell am I supposed to say to that? Like,
do you want me to hold it for you?
yeah, like, I mean...
We have diapers on our clothes.
Right.
I mean, he's at that age where he probably needs them. And I'm not trying to be rude, but, like...
Hey, at any age you could need them.
How do you tell somebody that? Like, what do you want me to do, man? Like, you've already done the deed. I can go get you a trash bag or a cup or something if you want.
Throw your undies in it?
Yeah.
She was doing meth?
I
Oh, you thought.
Because he said usually when it's that, it's meth.
Yeah.
I used to do it.
Okay.
So I was like, I know this bitch is not doing meth after all the hell she gave me.
Right.
But then again, she gets a DUI in an open container. Back when I used to drink, I kept a bottle of vodka in my car.
Oh my God.
From work, I get a cup.
You hide it underneath the seat?
No, I hide under the seat, but I get a styrofoam cup from work, get some soda, go out in my car, get my vodka, pour it in there, and drink it for free at the bar.
Oh my God.
And I wonder why I only bought 2 drinks and fucked up. And I was doing lines of coke in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
I was trouble. It was a lot of trouble. I actually got out of the DUI. I blew a .28 3.5 hours after the accident.
Wow.
Yep, crashed my car right into an embankment at 50 miles an hour.
Well, you're lucky to be alive.
Broke the seatbelt, airbag woke me up. I walked up the double yellow line to my house, went to bed.
Oh my God. Have you talked to your sister at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I picked her up last night. I talked to her today. She went and got her van. She's just worried about her job.
Yep.
She's trying to hide it as long as she possibly can. I'm going, you're going to have to get you a good attorney.
A love letter to Instacart. They come in here and shop and then take the groceries to your location. Who are they hiring? Just anybody? Because they don't know how to work something right. And so when I've got $253 worth of groceries here, it doesn't work right, they just leave. So now we're stuck putting away all of these groceries. Thank you, Instacart. This was definitely one of those oh wow moments. I was talking with a guest about what we're binge watching right now. And I said that there's a new one that's on Disney, and it's called The Big Door Prize. And they're telling her that's really super funny. And I said, and by the way, it has a local actor in it, Tim Perez Ross. And she goes, really? And I said, yeah, you gotta see the show because it's a total binge watch. So we're talking about the show, and I'm telling her about the landscape of the show, and that Tim is the coach. And this kid walks by and he says, you're talking about my dad. And we looked at him and I went, you've got to be kidding me. What were the chances that you would be walking by while we're talking about a television show on Disney Plus and that stars your damn dad? All right, it's time for another taste test. Sprite has a brand new flavor here. It's called Lemonade Legacy. Oh, but it should be Limonade? Is that what you're thinking? Limonade Legacy, celebrating 50 years of hip-hop. Oh, that's nice. All right, we're going to do this live here. I don't know. No, that's not working it for me. I like the fizz, but there's a mixture in this that it's not working. Lemon, lime, strawberry. That's it. That's what I'm tasting. That's something wrong. I don't know. Oh, we're going to wrap up another edition of C.T.C.S. Mother's Day weekend is officially over. We shattered sales records like you wouldn't believe. I knew it would be like a Super Bowl Sunday. And listen to my voice. It's all shot from talking. But I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't come here to talk. I come here to entertain, to be a part of it. I invite you sometime to come see us. And the reason why is because I want you to see what it's like to go through the experience of one of the hardest working teams. Really, we are. That's why we call it the circus. You know, we know that things are really super tough, and, you work on it. In fact, I heard a quote earlier today that I'm going to use as a mantra when we have the teams, when they dwindle down to only 3 people, and you've got a Super Bowl Sunday or a Mother's Day, and it is, be strong and do your work. All right, man, you can find this and all the episodes of C.T.C.S. on iHeartRadio, Spotify. It's all out there. And, man, thank you so much for supporting the show. I do it for you because those of us that are in retail, everybody needs to share their voice so that people know what you're really going through.